Looks like I am live. How are you? My name is Lou, and this is the Lou Optics podcast. This is my first one. I've done television years ago and everything, but this is a whole new venture for me. I'm not a young guy, so I'm not an old guy either, but we're going to try to get into it and um, I'll tell you a little bit about myself to start. I've been in the optical industry for, oh my goodness, going on 25 years. And I started really, really young. And it was fascinating because there was um, a gentleman that I knew, a friend of mine, and I saw him in this white coat and he was working at an optical place, and um, I was looking at him. I was like, "Man, you look so great. You look so good." People are like, I noticed that there was like this large amount of respect that he was getting. I was like, well, "Man, what do you do back there?" He said, I work at this optical place, and um, I work um, selling eyeglasses and contact lenses. I was like, man, that sounds fascinating. And so I bought him lunch because I wanted him to tell me more about it. I was like, so me, I just want to hear what you have to say. And from that, it just became a thing. So then once he told me that, I had to figure out how I could get into this industry. And that's where I um, started the process of falling in love with optical. Um, Now, I've always wanted to be an eye doctor since I was about 7 years old. It was pretty much the first um, time I had prescription eyeglasses. And back then, most of the places weren't privatized. And if you live in hood, you pretty much go to whatever state hospital your insurance would take, or if you're, disenfranchised or whatever. But anyway, I thought that the optometrist was the coolest person in the building. So I was like, man. So in my mind, I'm thinking, if I could do anything in the world, it would be that because he is the coolest person in the world. And what was fascinating too was I asked so many questions during the eye exam I got, and then I asked the technicians, uh, what they, how was their day and what did they do, and I watched the technicians, and I watched them all collectively make the actual eyeglasses right out of the entire manufacturing and fabrication of the glasses right there um, in the clinic itself. And I was so fascinated. I was like, this is unbelievable. I have to do this. I must do this. But just like with anything, you don't know what's available until you start asking questions. You don't know what's available until you actually have some type of curiosity or thirst about it. And um, the first thing you have to do is realize you know nothing about it. And then the second thing is you have to go for it and go after it. So going back to when I was grown, really, really grown. And my friend was telling me about just his day and what was going on. And one thing also stuck out was that um, you saw this large amount of respect from the ladies too. And so that really, really was appealing to me. I was like, oh my goodness. So I was, you wear this white coat everywhere. He's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do that too. So So then I got even more inquisitive. Chance had it that um, one of customers at a previous job I was at, he was the optometrist at a different optical place, and I decided to try to ask him a ton of questions. He didn't have a lot of time. He was like, "Well, um, if you have any more questions, you can actually come see me." And I said that. Asked him, I was like, well, "What's the best time?" He told me, so I was like, okay, I'll be there. And I did that. I went and asked him a ton of questions, and he was like, "Well, if you're that interested, maybe you should, apply for a job." I was like, that sounds like a good idea. Maybe I'll do that. So then I applied right on the spot, and I want to say 4 days later, I was hired. So that was my total introduction to the industry, and it's been really wonderful ever since. Um, I mean, there's always good and bad when it comes to any job, but for me, I felt like I was at home. I probably tried 20 different jobs, uh, 20 different industries. I mean, you're talking about, you know, because, you got to earn a living. You can't just be out here doing nothing. So, I've done waiting tables, I was dishwashing, I was cooking, I was um, at a job where we had to create bales, tie them up, and then lift them. Sometimes 15 to 20 feet high. We have like this elaborate piece of equipment. We was using our strength, so you had to have some muscles in order to even get the job. So I worked in small industrial plants and automotive plants, and I did all that prior to the optical industry. And I really feel like it's an industry that's still on the move, it's still vibrant, it's still hiring, and there's tons of opportunity in it. And um, one thing I realized too is that um, a lot of black and brown really don't get into it. You might see in a sea of, um, you know, 10 to 20 employees, you might have, you know, two brown persons, one black person. That's it. And so I believe that it's a growth industry. I believe it's an industry that we could actually get into. And this is part of the reason why I'm doing this. Like I say, this is part of the introduction to this channel. We'll see, um, what else I can bring and any questions that you have for me or what kind of information. I will pretty much deliver whatever content you're looking for, as well as me um, showing you the steps of how um, to do that. And I think that the way I got in industry is probably the way a lot of people get into any industry. If you want to know something, you ask a ton of questions, and the more inquisitive you are, the more education you're going to get, and the more people will know you. And so when you go to that job interview, it won't even be a problem. They're comfortable with you already. Now, I just want to know if you're crazy or not. And that's it. If they feel like you're not crazy and you're hired, you're in, you can make some money. So I want to do that, and probably on the next video, I will start talking more in depth about the career in optical. There's different places in optical. You can do sales, you can do front desk work, That usually means some medical billing or just some receptionist stuff. You can, or you can do some billing and coding as well as that. That's very, very big in the optical industry. Billing, coding, and actually having some common sense and talking to people like they're human beings. And if you can do that, you'll be great. This also you can be a frame rep. You don't necessarily have to be in some type of practice or store. You can actually be someone that is selling frames and selling accessories or selling the contacts on behalf of a particular manufacturer. You can also, you know, sell contact lenses, uh, do contact lens classes so you can actually teach people how to insert and take out contacts. Um, there's also jobs as far as being techs, being able to be the people that um, the patient sees before they see the actual doctor. You know, being able to do the preliminary exams, so that the doctor will have some type of understanding of what's going on, so that everyone can come in and get a full, comprehensive, and efficient eye exam as well. Um, so, um, for many years, I've been a certified optician. In some states, it's certified or it's licensed. Depends on what state you're in. It's going to tell you whether you're called certified or licensed. And I got that designation pretty early in my career. And I'm also a um, second year optometry student as well. And this is important to me because I believe that even young black and brown, they just don't get into it. They don't know it's available. They don't know it's for them, and they don't know that it's not it's not that hard to actually do a job. Anything you do is worth something. It's hard, but it's not that hard where you yourself can't do it. Anything worth doing is going to be hard no matter what. But I believe that this is um, an industry that it really has the lowest risk in the medical profession, as well as um, high earning potential, especially if you position yourself well. If you're in private practice or you're with a group, and it's very rewarding in even emergency room situations if you're on call and things of that nature. So we'll get into all those things. And so I wanted to make sure that you got this, at least the first 15 minutes, an overview of what I'm trying to do. And if on any platforms, you know, I'll be trying to bring my little bit of something. And in addition to that, that guy also that's going to always play devil's advocate. Uh, I love to have fun, and that's what you'll see on other platforms, this platform as well. But I believe that if you're a black or brown man in America, wherever you're at, you should strongly consider, some form of medical industry because we're needed there. Um, and I'll go into that in the next video more in depth psychologically why we're more needed in a lot of areas. Um, and I'll also give you an inside scoop on what actually happens inside of a clinical practice and some of the things that can go wrong in it as well. But I believe that we're more than just people that can shoot a basketball. I can hoop a little bit. You can do more than football. I can knock people down a little bit. Baseball, I could throw a little bit. You know, but we're more than that. We're intelligent too, and that's where my focus is. And I hope that you'll be able to, get a lot of value out of this. Like I say, if you have any comments or questions underneath, I'll be glad to answer each and every one of them. I'll be working tirelessly to make, a bunch of videos so that you'd be able to, glean from this and make a good form decision on looking at the medical profession for yourself. Okay. All right. Well, this is the first intro video. Like I said, next we'll dive deep more into the different careers in optical and why, if you're black, brown, period, uh, that you should think about this. And if you're young, think about it early. And we're gonna dive into that as best as we can. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Like I say, whoever watches, I hope you get a lot of value in it. And we'll see you later. Peace, peace.